I will totally.
Hi, I'm Alpina Singh, and welcome to Check Please. This is a show where regular people from all over Chicago recommend and review their favorite restaurants. So this is how this show works. Every week we have 3 guests. Each recommends his or her favorite spot, and the other 2 go to check them out to see what they think. This week, account executive Julian Ferguson says there's no need to manage expectations at his favorite spot. He says follow him to the West Loop for an out-of-this-world old-fashioned and a Wagyu burger that can't be beat. But special education teacher Christine Buchema says if you're a student of old-world flavors with a modern twist, you got to try the chai and much more at her Logan Square location. But up first, YouTuber Sean Ellie says his selection channels his inner pitmaster. He says for bonkers barbecue, a buzzing beer selection, and a rockin' good time, you gotta follow him to Chicago Culinary Kitchen.
We don't have a culinary background. I was in the Marines for 4 years. I went to art school.
I was a registered nurse when I met Greg. He likes to get chefy. He's so creative, and I love everything he does. You know, just for waste.
Stop.
Yeah, okay, I can't stop. We open at 11 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays, and it does take just about 3 hours for us to sell out. When it's gone, it's gone.
This is a lot of work that goes into this. It's a lot of effort. We work 7 days a week to make sure everything is always correct in what we do. You're gonna get a party atmosphere in here. It's like 3 hours party, but it's the food that brings people in. We take our time and make sure that we're giving everybody the best that we possibly can.
It amazes me, to be quite honest with you. I'm like, wait, people are coming and waiting in line for our food, and yeah. And wow, I can get all the coolest craft beer, and I can educate and share the beer love.
So Sean, you say that Chicago Culinary Kitchen is barbecue heaven. Tell us why you chose it.
Yeah, so I love traveling all over the country for different foods, and you don't think that the most epic barbecue you're going to have is in Palatine, Illinois. I don't think anyone would ever think that, but it's true. It's Greg and Christina Gardbo kind of started cooking in their backyard, and then now they serve brisket and pulled pork and beef short ribs. The best I've ever had when I went out there and had it. So it's like changed my life. I can't stop thinking about it. The brisket is to die for, like the most succulent thing ever. And then the mac and cheese. And they also have 30-day aged steaks. These big tomahawk steaks that they dry age in this like salt refrigerator for 30 days. If you got a little more money, do that one. That's insane.
So Julian, would you put this place up against any barbecue institution across the country?
Yeah, unequivocally I would. We had the brisket, we had the pulled pork. I'm embarrassed to say how much I got.
No, keep going.
Yeah, so we had a dessert, the fireball bread pudding, I believe it was.
Yep.
We ordered the spare ribs and the pit beans, and then we had the bread pudding with the fireball caramel sauce and the mac and cheese. Amazing.
Yep.
We did not get a great cut of brisket. We were like,
really?
Because we really got we got a bad cut.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't the meat part. We got kind of the fatty part.
Okay.
And so we were like, darn, because we really wanted to try that. But we really liked the other stuff that we had. We like ribs without sauce, so we didn't have any problem following those rules.
You lucked out there.
Because I want to really taste the meat.
And so I saw the sign on the wall.
Don't sauce anything.
It's like, it's bad for your health, and it's disrespectful if you put barbecue sauce on before you actually
That's
try
a Texas thing.
I had no idea. And so I read the sign when I was in line. I was like, all right.
Yeah, Midwesterners love barbecue sauce.
Well, usually I just
sure.
You know, why not? And so I tried it, and I'm glad I tried it without the sauce first.
Yeah.
There should be a law that everyone should try that barbecue without the sauce.
They were doing some really unique things there, which I thought, oh, that might be interesting to try.
Yeah, they really experiment with some stuff. Like, people don't realize there's fish there, you know, lobster, and it's nuts.
Well, that's not something you think of barbecue.
Yeah, but you know, people love it. Like, a little fish with meat. Yeah,
sure, why not? Makes you feel healthy.
Throw it in.
I'll
eat it.
So, Christine.
I went twice.
Hey!
You didn't? Did you really?
Once I ate and once I didn't.
Are you serious? Just to hang out?
You failed.
Well, no, because I failed the first time because I thought, well, I'm gonna check it out. I didn't really know when the food was gonna run out, so I looked around on social media. I couldn't figure it out, so I just decided to go out at 4:30 on a Sunday. Well, you drive in and there's the big sold out sign, and I'm like, well, I guess I better get there when it opens the next time.
Well, I thought that was the craziest part. Like when it said like, oh, we're just open to 11 to like when we run out of food, I was like, who is this place?
I know, what are you trying to do?
When we got there, we rolled through, and I was like, this place kind of looks like a DMV. Like, I was like, you know what I mean?
I tell people like that is an event place. Like you go there with family or friends because it's like a fun Saturday or Sunday that you have people in town, or like you get there and like make it a thing. You know, they didn't want it to be, I think, a thing where you can just kind of like show up whenever. It's like we're doing this for real. You're trying to eat until your pants are just hurting. That's that place.
I remember going like, I was like, oh, okay, we're going to Palatine?
Yeah.
And I was like, do we take the metro? Like, we get like an airplane out there?
Right, rent a car?
But I was like, after we left, I will 100% say, I was like, I would ride a bike out there if I needed to. Like what do we got to do to make sure that?
After the mac and cheese, you need to ride a bike.
And the effing mac and cheese.
And the effing mac and cheese. And
the F stands for fun.
It is. It's the fun. There's just the apostrophe is a U, I think.
Christine, did you interact with any of the other clientele that was there?
Well, it's communal tables, which I like, and so you're passing the napkins. It was great. I think people were really enthusiastic. There was a lot of guys there, that were ready to get their meat.
Big dudes, man,
but there's a lot of families came in, and I thought it was a really good energy. People were there. They were on a mission. It was a field trip. They were so organized. It was spot on. Lots of products you could buy, pickles and sauces and things. So people were passionate. People were coming in and taking it to go to take home. It was like an adult-themed restaurant in some ways.
Right.
Kind of edgy.
Heavy metal.
Kind of heavy metal.
Yeah, skulls everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're a cool couple. I mean, they look super cool. They got the tattoos.
They're rad.
And you could just tell, like, have a good time with them.
Yeah.
They definitely embody that rock and roll vibe of the whole place. I just expect they're going to get their own show at some point.
I think so. I think we're in the infancy
why do
stages.
they not have their own show?
Yeah, I'd say buy on that. Put your chips in their corner. I think that's going to happen if you're a gambling person. I think that's a good bet,
All right, Sean, you picked Chicago Culinary Kitchen. Sum it up for us.
The best barbecue, the nicest people. You'll leave with a friend. It's insane.
Julian?
For everyone in the city, go get a Metro card, get on the train, go out there, and leave the barbecue sauce behind.
And Christine?
Strip malls do not scare me, so I think some of the best restaurants are in strip malls. So I would go back for their unique dishes that you can't get in Chicago.
All right, well, you can try the brisket, steaks, and more at Chicago Culinary Kitchen, 773 North Clinton Road in Palatine, 847-987-0369. They're open Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. until they're sold out. Reservations are not accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $20. Julian Ferguson knows the West Loop is pretty wild these days, but he says if you're craving creative cocktails, fabulous food, and service all in an elevated bar scene, just join him and many others at the Madison Bar Kitchen.
As we know, Chicago is a city of everyone from every single nation. Our cuisine is American, but we try to put another cuisine into this food to make sure everyone enjoy a variety of food here.
When people come to the Madison, it's a really fun atmosphere. It's a great addition to the West Loop, which has a lot going on. We have some live music events throughout the course of the week.
I want everyone to enjoy everything, enjoy the service, enjoy food, enjoy atmosphere, and enjoy our cocktail, and we have a lot of selection of drink.
whether it's great food, great service, a fun atmosphere at reasonable prices, is I hope what people leave with when they're done here at the Madison.
Yum. So Julian, you're mad about the Madison. Tell us why you chose it.
Mad about the Madison indeed. Gosh, where do I start? So I live in the neighborhood, and the neighborhood's kind of famous for having these fancy restaurants, and don't get me wrong, that's part of the appeal of living there, but you don't always want to like go and get dressed up and have to go to a Michelin store, right? You just want to go somewhere and relax and have good food and really just the experience all together. And so when me and my girlfriend went there for the first time, like we felt like we were at home, and that's really important to me, right? The experience. Above and beyond that, my litmus test for any restaurant is a cheeseburger and an old fashioned. All right. So if they have a good cheeseburger and old fashioned, like you can count on me coming back. I kid you not, when I walked in there and I had that Wagyu burger for the first time, it changed my life. I kid you not. It sounds dramatic, but it's.
I like your passion.
Yeah, no, I get really fired up about this. About a lot of burgers in my life. So we had that, and it comes with duck fat fries, which I mean can't be beat. They have a really good beef. I think it's a beef braised pork, something like that. It comes with mashed potatoes. Did you get
short ribs?
Did you see the short rib?
Yeah,
Did you? So that's my second. But I thoroughly enjoy that.
It was really well done. We found the food, because we got a lot of kind of entrees, all had a sweetness to them.
Really?
The Amish chicken had a sweet sauce, and the salmon chimichurri, a little bit sweet. But the butcher steak and the duck fat fries, you're in heaven.
And you're in heaven.
Yeah, they try to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
I know they're connected with Union Sushi or something.
Union Hospitality. So they have sushi restaurants. They also have a place called the Franklin Room that does drinks.
Okay. See, I didn't know that, and I ordered the sushi to basically be like, I'm calling you out. There's no way the sushi's going to be good. You got the rainbow roll. It was great. It really was great. Like I go to a lot of like Japanese restaurants for sushi, and that was up there. Honestly, it was really great.
Yeah,
we got the sushi, and that just didn't blow us away.
Didn't blow you away?
But the cocktails were really good.
Yep.
And we loved I think the meat. I think their red meat is the way to go. Like the burger and the steak.
So I had the steak fritas for so it's like perfectly cut up, and my girlfriend and I got it to share, and they split it for us. That was really cool of them. The fries were fantastic. The sushi roll was really good.
Oh, cool.
We got the burrata. Girlfriend loves burrata. Any type of cheese.
Okay.
That was pretty average.
Oh, and we had the shishito peppers and the steak tartare. We just gobbled it up. We loved that. We thought the desserts were nothing special.
Right. Did you go with the cookie skillet?
Yeah, we didn't do it
Didn't
for us.
Didn't love it?
No. But I do keep thinking about the bar, the steak, the fries, hold for dramatic effect. There is a frozen gin machine. There. That makes like gin, slushy things that are hallelujah. So that was really amazing. Yeah, that's cool. And then I did have Manhattan.
Oh, okay. All right.
Which was really good because I think it was the bourbon that I had was aged in rum barrels.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of a different twist to them.
It's funny. So and you've had, I'm sure, good old fashions and bad old fashions, right? You go there, and like right down to the ice cube, if you notice, is clear. There's no bubbles in there. They special order and cut those ice cubes to drop those in those old fashions. Just give me chills even thinking about it, right?
Old fashioned was incredible. I'm so glad I got the same drink as you.
Okay, good.
Like that was the thing to recommend.
Right.
That was great, but there was like little things that I was just kind of like, I don't know if this place fully knows what it is yet, and maybe it's been open forever. I don't know.
Right.
But it's like it was kind of in that we're fancy, but we're casual. And there's a lot of people coming around filling water. It's like it was well staffed, but I was kind of like, I left there being like, I paid a lot of money, and I don't know if I got what I paid for. You don't need to spend, my girlfriend and I spent $150 when we went there.
There you go.
And I was like, okay, well, that's why I was saying to you, like, I thought it would have been, like, I would have been so happy doing that. If I'm going to spend $150 on a date night, I want to be like, all right, we're both psyched.
Away.
Yeah.
We really were taken care of. Zach out there, he did a great
so
job.
Nice. You're right about that, Christine. Everyone was seriously like, everyone was like overly perfully nice. Like, not in a bad way. Like,
and the decor was good too. Like,
I
it
mean,
really
they
was.
put a lot of money into that place of looking great. Because
Cool
you go in there and you're like, well, okay. I see what you're doing here. Why is that couch 30 feet tall? Well, okay, cool. You know, and like stuff you're looking up and there's like stuff written into the ceiling and lights.
Right track.
Yeah, and you're like, wow, okay, this was meticulous.
All right, guys, you both live in the West Loop. What's the neighborhood like?
I love it. So I've lived there about a year now.
Okay.
And I love how it is Restaurant Row. I mean, it is like Randolph is literally, if you're going to bring people into town to go to restaurants, I love when people come to visit me because I'm like, well, I'm going to blow you away.
I think about like the West Loop. So in general,
expensive
right? It's like, and it's funny because I can hear people from Logan Square and Bucktown right now saying it's a neighborhood that can be full of itself sometimes, right?
100%.
Like, I mean, throw a dart out there and you'll run into a $300 tab. It's,
I mean, you know, you're going to spend $14 on a cocktail in West Loop. Like, if you go into that hoping you're going to get a $3 PBR, okay, maybe not go there. You know what I mean?
Right. So.
All right, Julian, you chose the Madison Bar and Kitchen. Sum it up for us.
It's something for everybody. Go there for the old fashioned and get the burger.
Christine?
I think if you're in the neighborhood and you want a casual place, this is the place to go. You're going to be treated really well and you're going to enjoy what they're really good at.
And Sean?
If you're looking for a spot that does it all in the West Loop, the best neighborhood in Chicago, I think the Madison is a spot to try out, yeah.
All right, well, you can taste the old-fashioned and much more at the Madison Bar and Kitchen, 1027 West Madison Street, 312-566-4121. They're open for dinner daily and brunch on the weekends. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $25. On a busy stretch of Milwaukee Avenue, Christine Bugama says she's found nirvana. She says for elevated Nepalese cuisine and the city's first chai cafe, follow her to Logan Square and join her at Chia Chai.
We should all drink chai. Chai is the drink of leisure. Chai is the drink of like family together. Chai bonds people together, and you know, chai is a drink of happiness. So in Chia Chai, all sort of like people come into Chia Chai. The people like, you know, who are looking forward, who are looking to kind of get some kind of like a different kind of food, which is really good, and which is good for their like soul and body. All our like you know, food, it's kind of like revolves around chai. We have like pies, we have you know, new dishes, like, you know, new kind of like food. At the same time, we have a very traditional dishes. At the end of the day, if somebody drinks my chai and says it's good, and that's my satisfaction and that's my reward. And you should try one. It's really good.
So Christine, you say that Chia Chai is on another level. Tell us why you chose it.
Well, I live in Logan Square and I'm always looking for a casual place to go during the week, and I always seem to be sitting there going, chicken wings. And I believe you should only have chicken wings and eat them in the privacy of your own home. But for Chia Chai, I will break my rule, and we go there about once a week for their hot curry chicken wings and their masala fries. And I eat them right out there in public, right by the window, and, you know, and I do it because they're so good. When you take a bite of it, you can kind of feel the complexity coming through. And even though a lot of times you can get dishes and they all kind of look kind of stewy and maybe the similar color, but the flavors are different, and there's enough bright things to add, like they have this apple, green apple raita that comes with the pie.
Well, I had to Google what I was about to eat because I couldn't read the menu far from the menu, and I was like, babe, what is this? That looks like apples with...
And it brings that brightness to the side of things that you're like...
I was like, I'm going to find the recipe and make that for my next like...
Really
oh my God, it was so good.
I'm right there with you with the wings. I often find myself thinking about wings in the privacy of my old home, right? It was just a great experience. It was super new for me, a lot of new tastes, a lot of just, I mean, and just the way that it's easy to feel uncomfortable sometimes if you're not familiar with the menu. The waitress was one of the nicest people I've ever met in my entire life. I sat there and she was like, I mean, it was like my cousin, it felt like. You know what I mean? And I've never had any of this food, and I was like, listen, like, what are your top 5 things? And so she brings out the wings, bison dumpling. I mean, this is like
dumplings.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot.
yeah.
The
I mean, it's
dumplings.
stuff like I've never even would.
Being of South Asian descent, I can tell you for a fact, Indian food is very intimidating to a lot of people.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so I appreciate restaurants, especially at a lower price point, people are willing to try it, or incorporating in something like a pie or a dumpling.
Right.
You know, something that, oh, I know that. You know, so it's just not as like exotic or intimidating.
Yeah. They have this like potato appetizer that is like had 4 fire emojis on it. So I got that. I didn't even know how to pronounce it, but I got it. It was so good. It was like this full plate sized, tons of red crushed red pepper in there. That was out of this world. We got 2 different dumplings, both Blue Star. We give you 6 in each one, and then we got one of the savory pies. And
Isn't that good?
wow.
The flaky. I mean, you know, you can get some of the traditional dishes. Like I get the goat curry a lot, or the lamb, or the masala, which are, and that is just like what you get if you were in Devon. But even their versions, there's something about what they do with the brightness of everything that's just like. Wow.
The concept revolves around tea. I mean, chia is Nepali for tea, and then chai is Hindi for tea.
So the space is
tea.
TT. Yeah. Yeah, it means TT.
But the food itself is inspired by regions that grow tea, and actually they even grow their own tea.
Yeah.
And they bring the owner's the father grows tea, and they bring it back to the United States. So they're serious about their tea.
Yeah.
I got the Himalayan iced tea. It's funny because all the alcohol drinks are kind of like inspired by ginger tea. And,
my favorite is the bourbon ginger masala cocktail.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And you think it's amazing. And it really is, even though it's got a savoriness to it, it's again bright.
Yeah.
And their alcoholic beverages are very good, as is their chai. I don't know how many flavors
There's like 150 different ways you can have tea there.
So just a few.
Yeah.
And they offer tea classes, they have tea flights, and they're just really into tea. They just love their tea.
You can't be in Logan Square and get food like that, I wouldn't think.
So
let's talk about Logan Square. Christine, you live there. The neighborhood's changed a lot.
Well, you cannot swing a dead cat without hitting like kale and an egg on top and foam. Like
mouth-watering kale.
And I love all that, but there's so times when you want to not have something so, you know, foodie and whatever. And so it's right by the Logan Theater, so you can go to a movie.
So Logan Square definitely has its own vibe, right? Definitely has its own personality. The setup alone, like there's people. So we went for dinner, right? So like there were people, like students studying in the front, like people reading books and laptops, and like so in the back it's like a full-on like. You know, but we sat next to a couple that are on a date, and like we were on a date. So, kind of depends on they get a little bit of everybody in there, I guess. But yeah,
it's like a neighborhood spot.
It's a neighborhood spot. It's a neighborhood spot.
It is.
All right, Christine, you picked Chia Chai. Sum it up for us.
Well, Chia Chai is a great neighborhood place that you can go to find traditional food, but with a really great twist, and lots of new things that you probably never even knew existed.
Sean?
If you want the best dumplings, a pie that you didn't even know existed, go there, bring a date, wow them, you'll have a second date. So.
And Julian?
Bring your laptop, bring your appetite, and watch out for that Himalayan iced tea.
All right. Well, you can try the spicy potatoes and prolific pies for yourself at Chia Chai, 2770 North Milwaukee Avenue, 773-360-7541. They're open daily from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $20. So on this week's show, we featured Chicago Culinary Kitchen in Palatine, the Madison Bar Kitchen in the West Loop, and Chia Chai in Logan Square. Let's recap what our guests had to say. First, we went to the northwest suburbs and chowed down at Chicago Culinary Kitchen. Sean recommends it for the rock and roll atmosphere and mouth-watering brisket. Julian thought the barbecue was amazing and says it's worth the trip. Christine liked the communal tables and would go back for the unique dishes. Then we made our way to the West Loop and hung out at the Madison. Julian recommends it for its relaxing atmosphere and life-changing burger. Christine was giddy about the frozen gin and felt taken care of. Sean thought they did a lot of things well, but wasn't sure he got what he paid for. Lastly, we traveled down Milwaukee and stopped in at Chia Chai. Christine recommends this homey place for the complex flavors and great beverage selections. Sean loved the pies and was dazzled by the dumplings. Julian enjoyed experiencing new flavors and had great service. Well, we've had just a wonderful time this week, and I'd like to thank my guests, Shawnee Lee, Julian Ferguson, and Christine Buchema. Join us next week for 3 new guests recommending 3 of their favorite restaurants right here on Check Please. I'm Alpina Singh, and I'll see you then. Cheers.
For more information about the restaurants featured on Check Please, go to WTTW.com/checkplease.